Okay, question first before we proceed.
Okay, Encik Rosli, as I walk along Jungle Street, I dapati other kedai shop lot, as what you mentioned, 1826. The name of the shops, like kedai ubat, embossed on the tiang or the shop facade. So I can safely say that all these ones will be built after 1826.
Yes.
British time.
Right. So how to determine heritage houses in Malaysia? Even throughout the world, so we use World War II as the break. So anything before World War II considered as heritage house, heritage building. So even we follow that understanding.
1942 lah.
1945 beginning of 1945.
So almost nothing being built during 1944, almost no. So 1945.
So as you say, even though the medicine shop has been sold or has been converted to a hotel, so the name of the medicine still must be remain there.
Like because gazetted building.
Yeah, gazetted
so
must retain.
For the facade.
Must retain there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Even though I sell the building, so
Yes,
the
yes.
new owner also cannot do anything about alteration.
Even different owner or different function, the original signboard will retain.
Retain, okay, good.
Encik Rosli, you're talking about the signboard. What about the removable signboard?
Yeah. For example, so
The signage, for
Yes.
example, now we have those
yes, yeah.
plastic one is removable, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Because we actually recommend movable sign, but our understanding of movable sign is different. It's actually macam ni. Kadang-kadang kita buat tu for restaurant kan. Dia punya menu apa-apa kan. So after they close the door, the shop, they carry inside. So we recommend this. So we have to retain the signboard for the facade. Have to retain if it is maternity house, clinic, drugstore, or whatever. So we have to retain. But the restaurants will have their own movable signboard for their menu, the name of the shop, or whatever. To retain. So you can always keep that inside when they close shop.
What I'm talking about is that the big signage.
Yes. We're still negotiating with City Council. They always promise, so they're not going to renew the license. But this will, but it has been 8 years now. after the listing, 7 years after the listing. But some did follow. But some they highly depends on sponsors. Because this is a kind of, we call it a public-private partnership. Where the private company funding the repair work, so the owners still occupy the first floor for their house, for their resident, and this funder actually occupy the ground floor to do business. So that's their deal. Our conservation committee actually look through all the submission for signboard. Approval, tetapi kadang-kadang apa yang approve dengan apa yang tadi tak sama, because actually those who sponsored the sign, maybe some companies sponsored the sign after we approve the proposal, so that's depend. So in Melaka, most of the signboard actually sponsored by noodle company and also coffee makers. So that. Melaka is very famous with our own coffee. So there are big companies here who produce good coffee, and they also sponsor a lot of signboard. But I think they are okay, slightly okay compared to noodle companies. But yeah, the bigger the sign actually more income for the farmers. And we also have problem with these archers for festival. So we have Deepavali the whole year. Look at the Little Indian signboard, Happy Deepavali.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years, we have the same sign, Happy Deepavali. We still negotiating with the sponsors of those gateway, the archway, and also Chinese New Year also. But still, we are successful to remove all those arches in the World Heritage Site. But they only remain now the Deepavali because Little India is outside, so such a buffer zone. Right. So what else? We're still negotiating with business communities on compatible usage, new activities introduced, especially Jonker Walk, for example, and Jonker Street, for example, has been transformed from the original Kampung Belanda or residential area of the second-class gentlemen of the Dutch, now totally transformed into a commercial estate. Until 1980s, all of these townhouses of Jonker Street are owned and occupied by Baba families. But now only one Baba family survive in Jonker. So Jonker is totally a new extension of Chinatown, because all the Chinese from outside Melaka become the new tenant of the shop house. And when the city council would like to have a Baba character for the beautification of Jonker Street, so they have proposed new lantern, street lighting, signboard. So based on the Peranakan decoration, so suddenly the community of that street opposed. We are not Baba, why should we follow Baba? Then only they realized Jonker is no longer belong to Baba, and Jonker is no longer part of Kampung Baba, Kampung Baba, because both Jonker Street and Harris Street are protected under our state enactment for cultural heritage protection as Kampung Baba, Harris Street and Jonker Street. But Jonker Street is no longer Kampung Baba; it's all Chinese. So it should carry Chinese character instead of Baba. Kenapa kena paksa orang Cina ikut Baba peranakan? Which is very contrast, kan? Kontras kan? Peranakan punya pinggan mangkuk very colourful, and the Chinese blue, lain.
Yes.
They contrast. So that's the issue. Similarly for harmonisation as well. So nak pakai Melayu ke, Ceki ke, so tak boleh, because that street no longer belong to the Malays. Orang Melayu dah pindah ke Kampung Mountain, and not even Ceki, sebab even the Ceki temple now managed by Cetia instead of Ceki, kan? So how could we ask Cetia to promote Ceki culture? It's totally different culture, kan? Although both belong to South Tamil, but they have contrast culture. And the Cetia speak Tamil, and the other one speak Malay. Even when they pray, they pakai bahasa Melayu, kan? So that's the issue of intangible cultural heritage protection for Melaka. Issues dia lah. Lain lagi apa? Dah? Nampak dah? Yes.
In terms of the extension behind, after the first section,
after the first
courtyard and second, what is the height?
Oh, ours lower. Ours is 12 meters only.
12.
12 meters, that means 3 story.
And they have to have the same sort of roofing.
Terracotta rooftop. Terracotta rooftop or clay tile, actually one of the character of Melaka Coastal Shop House. So they have to retain that. Terracotta rooftop. It's either Indian tiles. Jadi tak nickel balik, apa yang tak nickel balik tak nickel. Indian tile, either V shape, V tile or U tile. U tile. Indian tile. Indian tile ni dibawa oleh Portugis, because if you refer to all document, we refer this as Mediterranean tiles. The Portuguese brought this from Mediterranean, from Portugal through India, lepas tu datang ke Malaya. So most of the building in India use this type of tile, so we call it Indian tile, although produced by Chinese. That's why many people call it Chinese tile as well. It's not wrong, but produced by local Chinese. Okay, this is Chinese style. Dia almost flat, and or they combine dengan a smaller U-tile untuk bentuk apa? For the shape of bamboo. So for Chinese temple or Chinese clan temple or clan association, they normally use this flat tile, flat, besar. Or untuk temple macam ni. So we can see this type of roof design for Masjid Kampung Keling, which is very Chinese in terms of the roof design. Sebab dia bentuk bulu, bentuk bambu. Okay? So Kampung Keling Mosque. So our architect Najib, paku tu technical untuk kita pergi repair the roof. That's for technical, nothing to do with architectural style. Yeah. So this is Chinese, both Chinese. Or yang tak ada di Penang, we have Dutch style. Dutch style, dia S style. Dutch style. Semua terracotta. Or British period, we normally use marsil tile for public building. Marsil tu macam ni. Dia flat je tapi dia tebal. Dia ada banyak-banyak bentuk-bentuk itu kan. This is marsil tile. M-A-R-S-E-I-L-L-E-S. A name of a city in France, Marseille, but produced in India or local. So we have those from India. Normally belakang dia ada chalk Queen Victoria ataupun King George. What else? Or Malabar. For local, we have tiger brand, butterfly, something else. Yeah, but most famous Malayan tile. So to produce in India or local. Okay? But in Indian masih tile better because of the better quality of clay. Kan? Tapi kalau nak better quality daripada France lah, definitely kan better. Marsil tile. So if you refer to building, if the building use marsil tile, definitely 50% is the British period, and for Masjid Kampung Bulu and Start House, the red building mostly Dutch style, which belong to Dutch building. Shop houses mostly use Indian tile. That include Chinese shop houses, Indian tile. For Chinese style, mostly for clan houses or temples. Sebab ini lebih mahal, imported ataupun local. Okay? Kalau di Penang sekarang ni yang reproduce all this style and produce in Vietnam because cheaper and also better quality of clay. We do produce our own tile di Malaysia, tetapi kita punya we export to Singapore because better price. Singapore shop house. Batu Arang tile, for example, Batu Arang produce B tiles and U tile for local market originally, but now they export to Singapore because of the demand and better price compared to local. So we need to import our own. Not to import, actually we have to reproduce our own from Vietnam. One local small company in Penang manage that. Yang ini pun kita belum ada insentif or any incentive or any strategy by the government to produce a heritage building material for conservation. Belum ada. So we highly depend on supply. Most of the time we recycle from the old material which is not so good, quite fragile, and even if we produce one, it's not so authentic, it's not so accurate. I can show you some of the replicas of decorative tiles which we use for the conservation of Masjid Kampung Keling. So we actually reproduce, they locally reproduce. But most of the colorful tiles in Melaka actually produced in Nagoya, Japan. In Nagoya. That during Dutch period. Indian, Chinese, Dutch, Marseille.
Excuse me, which just now you say that tiles produced by Nagoya?
Decorative floor tile.
Yeah.
Kalau Belanda dia akan pakai Dutch tile and also terracotta floor tile. This is Dutch. Yang floor tile dia persegi kan? Floor tile. Dia punya size very big and small version. Terracotta roof tile from clay. Decorative tile, floor tile or wall tiles mostly Portuguese influence. Kata very colourful. But later, the British also introduced colourful tile because of the Chinese style houses, peranakan dah start guna colourful tiles again. Yang tu pada kali import from Europe instead of Nagoya. But the earlier decorative tile in Melaka imported from Nagoya.
At the moment, any sample, any example of these tiles imported from Nagoya? Are we going to, will we be able to see?
If you refer to older building in Harensra,
Must ada tengok kan?
maybe Puri Hotel,
Colourful one lah, colourful.
floor tile.
Floor tile.
Maybe
On
you
the floor.
refer to maybe you refer to courtyard of Puri Hotel. Puri Hotel, the front.
Okay.
Puri Hotel. Yang ini Dr. Gui Jenkins of Penang bagi. Ini ada satu lagi isu di Melaka itu intangible cultural heritage protection. Sama ada orang dah tukar ataupun dah tak sembahyang, orang kira dah tak sembahyang. So dia punya dah hilang. Kan? Inilah aspek yang kita kata intangible heritage tadi. Kan? Tak ada. Yang ni asyik yang tengok gambar ni kan. Sekarang di Melaka, except in Chinatown and also Harmony Street masih ada lagi benda macam ni dan orang akan keluar petang sembahyang, tetapi not in Jonker Walk, not in Heron Street, because most of the people in Heron Street are the caretaker. They are either Indonesian maid or Filipinos maid. Owner mostly they came back during sembahyang hantu or Chinese New Year, twice a year. Jadi that's why dari segi character of the city hilang. We lose that. That's also very important for UNESCO because we need to retain the character of the city as well. That's why we need to limit the numbers of conversion from house to other usage. For example, restaurant, hotels, and other new functions. Jadi tapi if you ask me how many hotel permissible for any street, I don't have the answer as well. Tetapi sekarang ni kita dah start untuk tidak meluluskan any hotel development in Old Town as well because we have too many now. We have I think 10 hotels or a lot of homestays now in Old Town, which is not good to retain the character of shop house heritage in Melaka, because shop house and the character associated to shop house is one of the OUE of our UNESCO listing. Kalau hilang, we slowly will receive yellow flag. Yellow flag means warning flag by UNESCO. So to get out from yellow flag, that will take years for us to actually perbaiki.
Yeah, how often they come and check us?
No, we only have to send report every 6 years for periodic reporting. But if there is any cases, so they will send their expert for report. For example, UNESCO have sent their expert twice, once, and also and the second one is their expert to help us to prepare the HIE impact on swiftlet farming in Georgetown and Melaka, the bird house in Melaka. So we have 24 house being converted to bird nest house in Melaka and more in Georgetown. So but now no more in Melaka, and also I think almost no in Georgetown as well.
I saw one in Marine Street.
Right.
Also no more.
So now they are asking for another report from Melaka for the Melaka Gateway projects. So UNESCO will always respond to any any statement from internet, from newspaper cutting, so even they know what happened, what's going on in Melaka, which include gateway proposal as well. So immediately after the state government launched the project, so UNESCO sent a letter through our permanent representative in Paris, so they know. So they also have their rep here. Who will send email to UNESCO office
to check all the things.
to check. Tapi mungkin dia check jugalah kalau kita punya group dekat itu dan nanti dia akan check juga. Faizal punya group.
One more question. As long as we are still under UNESCO listing, do we have to pay any yearly subscription to?
Not for heritage site, but our government estate party, yes.
To pay like donation or contribution?
Yes.
Oh.
Sebab UNESCO pun international government, they don't have money. And miskin juga.
Miskin?
Yeah, sekarang almost miskin because of these Palestine issues. As UNESCO, the new observers, a lot of countries did not pay their something, actually cut their sponsorship programs. What else? Alright. So some factors affecting our site in Melaka, not in Georgetown, but in Melaka specifically, tsunamis. Let me show you the potential of tsunamis here in Melaka. Floods, fire. I prepared this. This is not expert punya report. I prepared this report. Tsunamis, flood and fire, and impact of climatic change because we are actually coastal city. So impact climatic change or sea rises. So this is the Indian Ocean tsunami in Aceh, which is also affected Georgetown partly, kan? But we have 3 big volcanic mountain in Sumatra, the Kerinci range here. 3 active volcanoes. If any eruption by any one of these volcanoes, so definitely they will trigger another tsunamis all over the sea as well. Okay. So tsunami might happen along the sea of Melaka, which affected Melaka because Melaka is usually lower than the sea level, the old town level lower. Right. What else? Flood? Yes, that happened in Melaka. Yeah, Malaysia. But now, after we actually improve our river, and because of the river cruise, we have to retain the level of river water, and sometimes our river water is higher than the drain. So the water from our old town cannot be discharged to the water. So it's always wet. So that affected the wall of our old building. So that's actually very dangerous, right? And the first reclamation is actually higher. Kota Laksmana, the first reclamation in 1980s for Kota Laksmana is slightly higher than our old town. And the recent reclamation for new development di Melaka, which is much higher than Kota Laksmana and definitely much higher than the old town. So the old town looks like a bowl now, which actually become a catchment for river water. So flood might happen if we cannot discharge the water to the river, and river cannot discharge the river water if it is high tide. During high tide, heavy rain during high tide. So that's very dangerous for our old town, for the fabric of our shop houses. Tourism pressure, definitely. From 7.2 million visitors before the listing, now we have 14 million in 2013. So they claimed 15 million last year, which is I doubt they got 15 million last year. Sedangkan for almost few months we don't have visitors from China because of MAS. I doubt we can get 15 million. But still, 12 million or 12 million, that's too many for Melaka. For such a small city, we need a quality tourists who really spend their money here instead of many tourists who just take pictures and go, right? I took this picture during normal season before the UNESCO listing. This was the picture I took in 2004 before UNESCO listing. Look at the numbers of coaches in Dataran Palawan, and look at the number of buses last year in early morning at 7 AM in Bukit St. Paul. This is just normal day, not even peak season. Look at the numbers of visitors and look at the size of our buses passing through our small street in Jonker Walk. So in long term, so what happened to the fabric of our building? They crack kan? Sekali dia basah, crack. So I don't know what happened, which happened after 10 years. So that's very dangerous. Alright. Okay. Yang ini ramai pelancong, tetapi we need to spend a lot for garbage management, for vandalism, a lot of money to be spent by the local authorities. Sedangkan the tourism money goes to federal government. Kan? So we don't have. Alright. So we also have this tourism activities of Jonker Walk. This is okay. They said they want to promote heritage product. It's also okay because managed by local community association. Because the people outside the World Heritage Site say we want to share the cake as well. So according to them, the World Heritage Listing only benefit those in the city. So those from outside, we want to share the wealth of UNESCO listing. So these are all the people from outside the core zone, outside the city, who have business along the street 3 days a week. That's good in terms of community participation in heritage development. That's good. But what happened during if fire happened? This is one of the earliest Chinese school in Melaka.
Yeah.
One of the first Chinese school, which is totally destroyed because of fire. During midnight, during Jonker Walk, because the fire engine can't get to this area, although the fire bomba is somewhere here, which normally they will take about 2 minutes from their headquarters here to here, 2 minutes. But they took more than 8 minutes. So the entire building burned. So that is one of the risks for having these activities along small street in Melaka. In terms of revenue capture, tak apa, dapat duit kan, tapi cara nak buat tu kan, implementation strategies. So we also have religious festival, Maulud Nabi, One Kam Festival, and Thai Pusam, all walking the route actually walking along the small street in the old town, the Wang Kam, the lighting. So fire took place in 3 years. So few fires in the city. Our very own dancing hall here, the municipal hall, all totally destroyed. And then the shop house here, and then the shop house, and then the shop house, and the first Chinese school, the old Chinese school, and another capital, the cinema. Within the 3 years, too many. According to UNESCO, this is too many in 3 years, and which is very dangerous. What happened if the fire took place here? During Jonker Walk, or during One Kam Festival, or during Thai Pusam? Yeah? So what happened to our old town? Look at the Melaka old quarter during Thai Pusam, and we use fire as part of our ritual. Kan, kita kena terima. What is our strategy for protection? Look at the street, right? So yang ini dan yang ini di sini, sini. So we don't have back lane. Look at our area. We don't have back lane. This house, the kitchen meet the other kitchen. Look at this. So that's the problem. And this house at Halong High Street, so long, up to the water edge. Right. So that's the issue, which is very differs with Georgetown, because Georgetown had back lane and the shop is shorter compared to Melaka. Alright. Saya cerita sikit pasal river, just in case your guest tanya ataupun those student tanya nanti. Our Melaka River Rehabilitation Project, sebab di Benang banyak kebuat, but whether this is a good project or good example for conservation, that's very subjective. Let me take a look at that. So sangat bagus in terms of objective to improve the condition of the river whilst promoting integrating the significance of urban design element, but still for tourism development, tourism proposal, nothing to do with improving the historic character of Melaka. Kita look at the view of Melaka during 1900s, Kampung Belanda or Kampung Baba, Kampung Cina and Kampung Jawa. Sebab orang Cina dan orang Jawa dia kerja dengan pelabuhan, so sebab tu rumah-rumah Kampung Cina and Kampung Jawa located on both sides of the river, and everyone have their own jetty for loading and unloading, kan? Right. And a start house with all this stone step leading to the water, and yang ni Kampung Jawa and Kampung Cina. Tengok, tapi lama-lama dia according to City Council, these are all illegal because we need to have river reserve. But according to Dutch Building Code, this is not illegal. They are allowed to build their house as long as they want. Right? Alright. So these were all kitchen and toilet. They flush direct discharge to river, and also all these wastewater from kitchen all direct discharge to Melaka River. And Melaka River was one of the most polluted river in Malaysia, kan, until 1980s. Tapi bila low tide, we almost no water at all during low tide. So we highly depend on the sea water during high tide. So that's why we need to actually have water gate to control the water for river cruise now. Because during low tide, we don't have enough water for Melaka River. So but the activity of water trading in our river is quite attractive for tourists, but actually but that created a lot of pollution on our water, because the trading between Sumatra and Melaka need only charcoal and kayu bakau. Alright. Kayu bakau. So all this illegal, the so-called illegal extension along the Melaka River, the toilet and the kitchen have to be demolished. So Melaka lose the character of the riverine settlement along the Melaka River, which originally all under the water with all private jetty. So in terms of conservation, this is not so good. Yeah? So because we lose the character, real character. Kan dulu memang dia ada dia punya jetty kan, semua tu kan, jetty sekali toilet. Right. Tetapi the intention was to demolish all this toilet, and the city council gave a zero interest grant for all this owner to remove their kitchen and toilet to the last courtyard. So all on both sides of the river, so they proposed this boardwalk, but below this boardwalk is actually the big pipe to receive water from toilet, from kitchen and other toilet or shower room in this hotel. So yang ini akan dibawa ke reclaimed land for a treatment plant over there. So we only discharge the water to the sea after pass through the treatment plant, which is good. So Melaka after this project become one of the cleanest water, urban river in Malaysia after this project. So it's quite successful, but we lose certain character of the old riverine city, yeah? Which is we have building up to the water edge with private jetty yang itu hilang. Tetapi dari segi lain dia quite successful, especially for tourism. It's quite successful. So this is the view of Melaka after the demolition of the extension, the jetty. So we have walk on both sides of the river. Habis.